Another beautiful day, deep divers. Listen to my friends. You just heard that? There's no place I'd rather be than with the birds, bees, leaves, and trees. It is so beautiful. We got butterflies floating around, the sun shining, the cat down the road, chillaxing, and I hope you're taking care of yourself, deep divers. I woke up like this, all magical and fly, off grid. Look, I sold everything and decided to go off grid. That's what someone told me when I was traveling in Greece. I sold everything. I'm like, everything? They're like, everything. And I decided to go off grid. And that was some years ago. And it inspired me to say, okay, how can I also go off grid? And when I say going off grid, deep divers, you better prepare yourself to learn how to go off grid, or at least think about it. Because you see, when they lock down the world again in the future, you don't want to be stuck in a concrete jungle. You want to be saying, hey, I'm chilling in the heart of nature with Ralph Smart, doing a little samba, baby. Deep divers, someone asked me, can you please make a video about going off grid? I always see you in the heart of nature. It's so inspiring. Ralph, I'm stuck in a concrete jungle, help. Well, I'm gonna help you out, because you see, I'm gonna show you that going off grid doesn't mean that you have to be totally isolated from the whole world. No, in fact, you can still integrate the modern world into your off-grid living like I've done. I'm gonna talk to you about it. Deep divers, are you ready? Apparently so. But let's breathe. Let's go, deep divers. That was magical. Let's go, deep divers. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Raising the frequency. Raising the vibration. Take that, take that, take that. Good ass energy I'm sending you. Peace. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers. We are out here in the heart of nature. Gaia, I love you. And I'm FaceTiming you right now, deep divers. If you are watching this video, this is your confirmation. You are becoming a magnet for your desires. You are becoming a magnet for your dreams. You are becoming a magnet for your visions. All you have to do is say thank you and know that you're worthy for them. If you're ready, hit that like button, deep divers, if you support the real. I want everybody to hit that like button right now if you support the real. How to live off grid. Let's talk about it. You're gonna have to go off grid soon. Prepare yourself for what's coming. Because you see, I had to remind myself that actually I can't just be so comfortable in the matrix, in the concrete jungle. Because you see, when that collapses, you're gonna collapse with it. So every single day I'm like, hey, let me go off grid. Let me find new ways to go off grid, disconnect, unplug from the matrix, and come back to this real life. This real life. You see, Mother Nature always keeps it real. And we have to learn, this is how we evolved. We actually evolved, all of us, off grid. Isn't that something, deep divers? This is how we evolved, in the heart of nature, surrounded by the birds, bees, leaves, and trees. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? The information I'm about to share with you is really going to inspire you to learn and take the first steps to go off grid. It's all about being free right now. Deep divers, do you agree? It's all about being free right now. So I've traveled to many different countries. So many countries. The passport is all stamped up, deep divers. And I remember going to a place called Dahab near the Red Sea in Egypt. And I met this community of people who were living off grid. They had sold everything in their native land and they were living in a community off grid, and they were talking to me about it. They're like, Ralph, you should try this one day. I'm like, okay, talk to me about it. And they're like, we live in this community, we help each other, we homeschool our own children, we have power generators, we've got a well. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And we don't rely on the matrix, we don't rely on the system, we are self-sustainable. And I'm like so inspired. They were feeding me beautiful food because we ain't even had breakfast yet, deep divers. I'm like, they're like, what do you want, Ralph? I'm like, you got any grapes? They're like, yes, of course. I'm like, thank you. They grew their own grapes, deep divers. Now, truth be told, I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But along my journey, I am going off grid every single year, like totally, I'm off grid. And I've also found a new way to go off grid every single day. It's not always about going to a remote place, like somewhere where no one can find you. No, going off grid is about realizing all you have to do every single day is get your ass into nature. That is a form of going off grid. There are many different forms of going off grid. You can go off grid simply by going hiking, simply by going camping. You see, a lot of people say, Ralph, I'm in a 5-star hotel. And I tell them I was camping on the weekend and I was in, looking up at the stars, a 5 billion star hotel. What? Slow motion this side. Best view in the country, best view in the world, right? How to live off grid. Like right now, we're in a time where so many people are waking up. Millions of people all around the world are waking up. And I hear people screaming, freedom, freedom, freedom. And when you are off grid, like I've been to places in Greece where I lived remotely off grid and I was so free. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so at home. Let me make myself comfortable. Do a little samba, baby. Raise the frequency. I felt at home. I felt at peace. I'm like, this is how we evolved. We're not supposed to be living huddled up like chickens in cages in this concrete jungle in the Matrix. In your cities, a lot of you are fighting for space. And this is the reason why so many people are stressed out, sick, ill. But when you learn to come to beautiful nature spaces, come off grid, your health will improve. But how do we do this? Well, like I said, it starts with you reminding yourself that the matrix is the grid. Where you are located is probably a smart city full of 5G towers. And if you are someone who lives near 5G towers, that's okay, because most cities are like that. But I'm urging you to take a trip into the heart of nature to come and meet Ralph Smart. Deep divers, you're going to come and meet Ralph Smart off grid. There's no Wi-Fi out here, deep divers, but I swear you will find a better connection. What? Slow motion this side. Do you know that the trees block the 5G frequency? That's why you can't get any reception. So if you really want to learn how to go off grid, go to places where there is no mobile phone signal. No, like your bars went from 4 to 0. Your bars went from 4 to 0 real quick. That's a good sign you're off grid. No phone reception. I was living in Topanga Canyon for many years in California. There's no phone reception up there. We were off grid, solar panels on the side. I'm like, I feel right at home. It was so liberating. I'm in Hawaii, off grid. I felt free. I'm like, pass me the coconuts, the dates, the strawberries, the grapes. That's all I need. All I need is the air that I breathe. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. If you want to go off grid, and you're going to have to learn how to go off grid, you got to prepare yourself for what's coming. There's already talk by Tedros, right? The guy who's the head of WHO, World Health Organization. It's inevitable another pandemic is on the way. You know what it was like during those COVID days, lockdown. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people were looking a little bit shaky, baby. So we have to remind ourselves the world could have another lockdown at some time in the future. And when you are off grid, whatever's happening in the matrix is not going to affect you. So we have to always say, okay, let me always think about going off grid. How I do it is every single day, learn how to be a minimalist. There are things we have we don't need, and we actually get, our possessions actually end up possessing us. Isn't that something? Like you buy a house, you buy a car, now you can't leave the grid, the smart city, the 15-minute city. Do you know that there are 15-minute cities everywhere these days? And you have to be careful, because once you're locked into that smart grid, everything you do is tracked and traced. You have no freedoms. But when you're off grid, they can't find you. Oh yeah, they can't trace you. Oh no, they can't track you. No, you're free. And that's how you're supposed to be living. So everyone should be saying, actually, let me learn how I can go off grid. But I'm hungry, Ralph. Why? Because we ain't even had breakfast, Ralph. Okay, so what do? Do you know that there's free food in nature? I said there's free food in the heart of nature. Like right now, there are berries everywhere. I just pick them, eat them. I'm off grid. I don't need to depend on the supermarket. I'm out here living on one meal a day. 1 meal a day, deep divers, right? Sometimes I just wake up, shove a mango in my mouth, I'm good to go. Now, Ralph, I can't do that. Well, you can do that. You can grow an apple tree, an orange tree, learn about agriculture. This is how to learn to go off grid. Learn about how to grow your own, learn how to grow your own food and preserve your own food. Learn how to grow your own fruits and nuts and all of these things, how to plant seeds. Because if you don't, you're going to be dependent on the matrix supermarkets. When we talk of learning how to live off grid, living off grid is when you're no longer dependent on public utilities like the supply of electricity and all of these things. So when I was traveling around the world, meeting people who really lived off grid, they showed me the solar panels. They showed me the solar panels. They showed me the external sources of power they use. They showed me the wind generators. They showed me the gray water systems. Okay, that's when you recycle the water in your house, and you know, it's amazing. They showed me how they collect rainwater. Everything can be reused, recycled, and renewed. And it's because we waste so much in this society. But when you talk about going off grid, you reuse everything. You also have a 2-for-1, coconut oil. You can cook with it. You can also put it on your face and look 19 like Ralph Smart. Oh yeah, it's starting to feel like that old Infinite Waters again. How to live off grid. Like I said, turn off your phone. Your phone is keeping you on the smart grid. Your phone is a trap. I use my phone, I'm not used by it. I use technology, I'm not used by it. With so many people addicted to their smartphone, the average person spends over 6 hours on their smartphone. In America, it's over 7 hours. That's a lot of screen time, people doom scrolling. But they don't realize in the process, they're becoming addicted to the smart grid. And that's the reason why if you want to learn how to go off grid, learn how to turn off your phone for 15 minutes. Can you do that? Learn how to not sleep with your phone. It's a trap. That's why you can't take out the battery of the phone, because even if you turn off the phone, it's still on. So when we talk of learning how to go off grid, learn how to not be so addicted to these smartphones and these smart cities. Learn how to live on the bare essentials. Learn how to start a fire. Learn how to build an off-grid home. Learn about, you know, you got those videos on YouTube. You got those videos on YouTube of people building houses, right, from nothing, and it's pretty cool. Now, some people say they're cheating. They might be, but people can actually do that. You can actually build, set up something basic, and it's good to go. A great way to learn how to go off grid, and I always do this, is to learn how to go camping. I'm camping, I'm sleeping outside in the heart of nature. I wake up with the birds, bees, leaves, and trees, like, oh, this is beautiful. And I realize at that moment, this is how we're supposed to be living. To go off grid, a lot of us, we have other commitments with a wife, a husband, children, and all of these things. And I met a woman, and she's like, Ralph, thank you for your videos. I love them. I show my son and daughter them. And guess what, Ralph? We're off grid. I'm homeschooling my children. And I'm like, that's amazing. She's like, yes, Ralph, I've taken my children out of these institutions and I'm homeschooling them. And we're moving to an off-grid lifestyle totally. We grow our own tomatoes, our oranges, our eggplants, our mushroom. We grow everything, Ralph. And I'm like, that's fantastic. Where do you live? She's like, in the heart of nature, Ralph. I'm off grid. They can't find me. I'm free. And that was inspiring. So people are doing it. People are thinking long term to say, actually, you see, we're supposed to be living by the ocean. We're supposed to be living in the mountains. We're supposed to be living in an ecosystem surrounded by nature, a beautiful feng shui. And to learn to go off grid, you got to take trips to places which have been not interfered with by man. Places which are still organic. The grass is growing free and roaming, the birds are roaming free, right? No rigidness, no restrictions. And this is gonna spark the light in you. It's gonna spark the light in you to move to that off-grid lifestyle. You see, every single day we don't realize that they're turning the world into a complete metaverse. They want a world without touch, no feeling. A world without smiles, no meaning. They want to put you into a 1984 Orwellian metaverse. That's why you have the Apple Vision Pro, all of these things. And you might think you're going off grid with that. No, you're not. You're going right into the metaverse, the belly of the beast. Ready Player One. So to go off grid, remind yourself that every single day, this real life is what it's all about. The metaverse is cool. You can go in, but get your ass back out and remind yourself it can never replace the real thing. Slow motion this side. Stop thinking that TikTok is real. Come outside, meet real people. This is how you learn how to get off grid, because so long as you're always addicted to these apps and smartphones, it's going to be hard to get off. How to live off grid, deep divers. Every single day, learn how to meditate. What if I told you off grid is not just a physical location, it's a state of mind? Oh my gosh. Off grid is not just a physical location, it's a state of mind. And when your mind is free like the birds, bees, leaves, and trees, you are off grid. How much are you thinking about? Learn to cultivate mindfulness meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is the art of absorbing yourself in the present moment, allowing thoughts to come through you without judgment, allowing emotions to pass through you without judgment. Now you're going off grid. Are you mastering your emotions? You've mastered the selfie, now master thyself. Once you master your emotions, you become a co-creator. You're now learning how to go off grid. You see, the people who are able to go off grid, they control their resources. Let me repeat that. The people who are able to go off grid and who are free, they control their resources. They don't have to depend on the supermarket, the public utilities, on the matrix systems. And I'm moving there, deep divers. In the next 20 years, it's going to be total off grid. You might just see me with butterflies all around me. It's already here, deep divers. What's up? How to live off grid. Like I said, we have to learn the art of being in the world, but not off the world. And we have to learn the art of every single day finding our Zen space. This is how to learn how to go off grid. Find a Zen space. Find a place which has not been tampered with by human beings. A rural place, a natural place, an organic place where the air is pure, where you can really get high. Let's breathe. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Deep divers, let's get off grid. I'm already doing it. Come and join me. I sold everything and decided to go off grid. Deep divers, I want everybody to hit that like button if you support the real. Hit that like button if you support the real. And that's why I'm just saying, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Beautiful deep divers. That was healthy. Let's go. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Go and check out the #1 best-selling book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the book. The Bible of Becoming Your Greatest Version. Also, go and check out the latest new book, The Book of 1111 Infinite Quotes by Ralph Smart, the secret recipe to becoming your greatest version at ralphsmart.com/the book. Men, women, children, even cats, go and check out the all-new limited design shirts. Go and get the good ass prana shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. Deep divers, they tried to bury us, they forgot we were seeds. Right now, it's all about freeing your ass from the matrix, being as free as you can, and that involves going off grid. That involves not always being on your iPhone, taking a break from your phone and reconnecting, realizing the only way out is in. One love, deep divers. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You. Once again, deep divers, hit that like button if you support the real. Hit that like button if you support the real. Leave a comment down below of gratitude and appreciation. Let me know if you're also going off grid, deep divers, how you do it. And let me know how this video inspired you to be free, become your greatest version, and get off grid. One love. Peace.